Namaste, Jai Bharat. Pakistan had been continuously disturbing Bharat through various kinds of terrorist activities. Of late, they have gone to Bangladesh, trying to influence the similar-minded Jamaati brand of Bangladeshis and organizing many things. They have series of terrorist plans in Bharat, and most of them failed. Some of them really did succeed, and the history is in front of us. And this Pakistan, you see, there's a saying that we see, something like a divine justice people speak of, whether it is objectively existing or not. If you don't ask me, if you ask me, I don't know. But you can only reap what is sown. As you sow, so you reap, people say, and that's genuine. You sow something seed, and you can only reap what is sown. Similarly, Pakistan has been organizing, facilitating, abetting, promoting, and executing terrorism primarily on Bharat and also on many places. Today, they are getting it back, much more than what they have done to us in their entire history. Afghanistan having an explicit conflict with Pakistan, right? But then there is this Baluchi incident, the Baluchi aspect, the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan aspect. Now for TTP's activities, Pakistan blames Afghanistan, and now Pakistan wants to call all these people as terrorists. Just because everyone is using this term terrorism to equate with Pakistan, most people, they will go into false narratives. But then at the same time, they are successfully, largely their success is because of the ignoramus public of Pakistan. They successfully keep their people, their public, under false consciousness. What is not the case is projected as the case, and what is the case is concealed, and they have been successful because largely due to the blatant ignorance of the Pakistani public, who are just a bunch of emotional idiots. So they're just emotional idiots, and you can play havoc with such people if you're smart enough. And Pakistani leadership is not very smart enough. I don't know. I wonder why these people are so low IQ'd. They can't do things legitimately and properly, but then they succeed because they both are of one kind. Both of one kind. So they give all kinds of narratives. So they say so many things. But then today they use the term terrorism to stand for Baluchis, to stand for Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, and accuse Afghanistan of facilitating terrorism. Whatever, the TTP is a group who wants Khyber Pakhtunkhwa to be free from the Punjabi domination. Pakistan is essentially Punjabi Muslims, and there's a hell of a lot of difference between the Punjabi Muslims and the Multani Muslims and the Sindhi Muslims and Baluchi Muslims, and of course the Pathans. And among the entire world, Pathan seems to be much better, because it's our experience that we had relations with the Pathans for ages. Bharat, Hindus, I am just telling, Hindus had relations with the Pathans for ages, and excellent, friendly, warm and emotional relations with the Pathans for ages. It's not just yesterday. I've seen places, Pathan origins all over Bharat, living all over Bharat, way down in south. I was interestingly asking one Pathan boy that how did your ancestors land up this far? They at home they speak still a kind of Urdu, that's Hindi actually. They call it as Urdu. Otherwise, they have nothing. They're not at all different from the people of that locality. Then they are telling that we have come to our ancestors had come to many parts as horse traders, selling horses, etc. And then their generations got settled down, but then still they maintain their Pathan identity. I have someone right here who is a Pathan. Of course, his name title calls is Pathan. And then I have no hesitation in handing over my house key to him and go somewhere and ask him to just do whatever work I've assigned to him. So they are that trustworthy, and we have experienced this for a long time. So that's a relation between Pathans and Bharat. That, of course, Afghans and Bharat, we had such relations. Well, even Devendra Tagore wrote that exceptional short story of Kabuliwala. I don't have to say that, most people must have read it. So they wanted to use Afghanistan, of course, they are straightforward people, and then that conflict. But then they accuse the Afghanistan for activities of Tehrik-e-Taliban, which of course they may be not very connected, and then they want to call Tehrik-e-Taliban as terrorists. Whatever, they are very active. They have attacked many places, many of the army posts, and about 18 of Pakistani soldiers were neutralized or killed yesterday or so. So this thing happens, and then Asim Munir wants to speak of ideological war between Bharat and Pakistan. By ideological war, he simply means a Hindu-Muslim war, or from his perspective, the Muslim and Kafir war. We are a Kafir supporting him, and unfortunately for these people, among themselves also they find out every other person a Kafir, where their Allama Iqbal, as they call, that's Muhammad Iqbal, a Punjabi of course, made this big mistake. He said two things in his Allahabad, the presidential speech. That's only time that he became president of their annual meet. That's All India Muslim League. Then that time is All India Muslim League. He just gave in his speech, he said Islam is a unity, Islam is a polity. Well, he is half correct. Islam is a polity because everyone tries to use Islam for political needs, and the polity that we find in Islam is entirely different from the polity that we find in Greek city-states. See, Aristotle was into political philosophy, Pythagoras a political philosophy. Most Greek thinkers were statesmen at the same time. But that kind of statesmanship is not found in polity of Islam. They are only power gathering, using religion to remain and obtain power and remain in power. But then the way that he said Islam is unity is absolutely baseless. There never had been an instant in the history where anyone could say this. If you say Hindu is a unity, yeah, there is a possibility, because the Rigveda talks about unity in the last sutta of the last, which is 10th mandala. Otherwise, so here Iqbal was partially correct. Whatever may be the case, Pakistan is in a mess. So they are in a mess just because they are believing that others are Kafirs. So long as they continue saying that others are Kafirs, they will continue to be in a mess. No redemption, no way out. We shall meet. Namaste, Jai Bharat and Jai Shri Ram.